Guys doing it. Ooh, my voice crack. Can't believe that. All right, so this is CS with DWP, and today we're going to be covering Mastery Rank for Warframe Wiki Wednesday. I do this once a week. Be sure to chime in every Wednesday if you want to be a part of it or just want to check it out. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that today we covered Mastery Rank. Why? Because I am one of those people who do not care about Mastery Rank. So, but I probably should. So let's go ahead and cover what it is, what it does. We're basically going to go over the wiki for it, okay? So I got the wiki put up, and I'm just going to be reading from this. But before I get started reading on it, let me just give you kind of an idea of what Master Rank is. So there are a few things in this game that does require Mastery Rank. There are nothing but benefits to having a high Mastery Rank, such as, you get additional slots, whether it be weapons or warframes. You can get a higher capacity to turn in standing for your syndicates. Your weapons start out at higher levels. They start at higher levels, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So mastery ranking, commonly referred to as MR or abbreviated as MR, is a method of tracking how much of the game's total content a player has experienced with points earned by ranking up warframes, weapons, companions, or arcwings to rank 30 through something called affinity, and also successfully completing junctions and nodes on the star chart. You can check your mastery rank basically here. What you do is you go over your name and you hit show profile, and it'll show your mastery rank. Now, there's a few pieces of information in here, which obviously you have your mastery rank symbol and the number. You have the name of the level that you hit. You have the total amount of affinity or XP that you've gained. You have a meter showing how much is left until the next mastery rank. And then, of course, you have the number. This number is important if you are planning on, if you're grinding your MR. So let's jump into increasing mastery rank. And like I was saying, I think yesterday or the day before or something like that, I was saying if you do want to farm MR, I personally do recommend doing like Warframes. I recommend doing Arcwings, things like that, because as it says here, rather than weapons first, but as it says here, it says ranking up weapons, sentinel weapons, and Arcwing weapons will get you 100 mastery points for each rank gained, which is up to 3,000 points, right? So technically I'm like one off on a level on something or whatever, right? But basically what this is saying, for every weapon that you do, you get 3,000. Whereas for Warframes, companions, Arcwings, and K drives, you get 6,000, right? So you get double the amount. Now it takes twice as long because they take twice as much XP, but you still get twice as much. Clearing the main objective of any mission node for the first time and then extracting will grant a predetermined number of mastery points. The map progress can be viewed in the general stats in the profile menu. Victory against the opponent frame in a junction gives you 1,000 points, and each rank in Railjack from the intrinsic system, each one rank that you get will get you 1,500 mastery points. So let's see. Oh yeah, now there's another thing. You have these things called exclusives. This is things like I don't know, like syndicate weapons. Well, not those, but this is things like the Gorgon Wraith, like event only things. We'll get into that in a moment because those do count towards your MR. Variants of original equipment, they do count towards your mastery. This is things like MK1 weapons, prime weapons, syndicate weapons. All those are considered separate weapons. So if you get the MK1 Bratton, the Bratton Vandal, the Bratton, and then the Bratton Prime, that right there is 12,000 mastery. As far as what's the cap, so there is no MR30. I'm pretty sure somebody would like to know that. I wanted to know that actually too. But yeah, the highest right now is MR28. 29 and 30 are not available. To give you guys an idea of how much XP is actually in the game, Warframes by themselves will give you this is on PC. Warframes by themselves will give you 420,000 mastery. Weapons, on the other hand, will give you 1.189 million mastery. Now that's on PC. If you include every single weapon and if you do every single thing in this game, you'll have 2.09 million mastery. That's on PC. Now for us console players, it's a little bit different for unless the Wii got their Nintendo Switch, unless the Switch got their update, which I think they did. Basically, we're just a little bit behind, but we're only behind by like 12,000 XP, so it's not a big deal. But ours falls under weapons in like a Warframe or something like that. Because and you got to keep in mind, this is because on PC they have Excalibur Prime, and they also have like what is it, the Ladle Prime, and some they got like a few things that are different from us. Anyway, but in regards to console players, yes, ours is 414,000 for Warframes and 1.183 million for weapons. For companions, it's 144,000. For sentinels, it's 51,000. For Archwings, it's 30,000, and Archwing weapons is 58,000. For amps, it's 70,000. K drops is 42. Doing missions is only 14. Junctions is only 13, and if you get all the intrinsics, you get 60,000. So, what's the best route to take? Well, let me go on ahead and talk about what I recommend doing, but actually, you know what? Let's cover this real quick. So let's talk about the benefits of mastery rank. So a higher mastery rank grants several benefits, as you guys know. This includes access to equipment and certain game content, such as quests, and raises the cap of certain limiters, such as mod capacity, void traces, extractors, focus, and syndicates, basically. For equipment unlocks, what you get is so instead of telling you exactly what it unlocks, I think I'm just going to cover the highest mastery rank needed to actually have access to all the content. And to have access to all the content minus ribbons, MR15 is the cap. Once you start including ribbons, MR16 is the cap. So going beyond that, it's totally up to you, but there are other benefits. So, like I said before, if you get an unranked weapon, like let's say, for example, let's see, I'm gonna see if I have anything to Forma. Not gonna Forma that. Don't I got the Chikora? Oh, you know what? I'll do this because I have to do this anyway. So let's say we got this guy right here. I'm going to hit that guy up in just a second. Let's do a V polarity, or unless that's a V polarity up there. That is already a V polarity. Okay, clearly I don't have to format this, but let's just do it anyway. So we're going to do, I guess, another V polarity, right? Boop. So we got a V polarity. As you can see, so my MR is 24. 24 times 2, because this has a capacitor in it, is 48. So whatever you do is basically going to equal the amount of MR that you have, and it's going to double itself depending on if you have a catalyst or not. Basically, if you ever wonder why did I remember starting at 0, but all of a sudden I'm starting at like 10 or something. It's like, okay, well, that's why. The maximum enemy level in the simulacrum is calculated by 5 times MR plus 30. So they start out at 30 in the simulacrum, and then they go up 5. So whatever 5 times 24 is, add 30 to that. Basically, what that means is mine is going to be not MR. My enemy level, the highest enemy level, is going to be 150. So the higher your master rank, the higher the guys in the sim are going to be. Each rank up increases the maximum accumulation cap of void traces by 50. I believe you start out, I forgot what you start out with void traces, but you do get more void traces, basically. Each rank up increases the daily maximum focus earned through the focus lenses by 5,000. Each rank up increases the daily maximum of syndicate standing by 1,000. Basically, what that is your syndicate standing is your MR times 1,000 plus 1,000. That's basically what that's going to be. So for me, MR 24, I can turn in 25,000, right? The mastery sigil changes in aesthetic design every 3 ranks. So basically, all it is that this color is going to go from bronze to silver to gold and then the next level is going to be a different sigil, bronze, silver, gold, so on and so forth. The number of extractors placed a player can deploy on a mastery rank dependent. The number of extractors a player can deploy is mastery rank dependent as shown. So I'm not going to get too far into that. With founders of prime access status granting an additional drone on each. So MR0, so it goes up basically by one. So MR0 is 1, MR5 is 2, MR10 is 3. So you can basically set a maximum of 3. You can set 4 primes or 5 primes if you're a founder, but yeah. But primes you can always set one more than the previous. Trying to think if there's anything specific that bypassing mastery locks. Okay, so let's talk about this actually. So if you want to, so there's these mastery locks, right? So a mastery lock is something like, let's pull up a weapon. So I'm gonna do this, right? Let's say Cronin Prime, I guess. So Cronin Prime. What this means is that this is mastery locked at 13, right? Now, there are some things in here that you can mastery lock. There are bundles on the market, which allows a player to obtain an equipment at an earlier rank, right? This is things like if you get the Sands of Unar's bundle, it bypasses mastery lock, cap at 7, the cap is 11. But if you buy it at mastery rank 1, you can have it all. The Berserker bundle, which is the Tigris. If you buy prime packs, this also will bypass it. I don't know if it's changed, but it's not saying it anywhere in here. But I know for me, when I used to buy prime packs all the time, it would just give me the prime weapon and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Accompanying other players who have access to certain boss nodes can allow crafting, serum, so on and so forth, before fulfilling junction requirements. This is basically if you get taxied. So if you get taxied to a planet and fight a boss, you can still farm that boss without necessarily having the junction there to get there. That's what they mean by that. I think that's pretty much it in regards to mastery rank. For any questions, feel free to leave them below. There's also an article on the wiki you can definitely check out. Now, why do I feel the way I feel about mastery rank? Well, to put it simply, mastery rank does not equal skill or build, right? It just means you have leveled a bunch of weapons and you have access to a lot of stuff, or you've tried a bunch of weapons. It doesn't mean you perfected a weapon or a strategy. It just means you leveled a bunch of weapons. That's really all it means. Weapons and warframes. It's really all it means. Perfect example is I played yesterday. I wish I took a screenshot of it, but I played with I was playing a Saren, and I might have to submit a ticket on this, but the Ag Jagra actually has a shadow bug, I guess, that I experienced yesterday, where I was shooting and then all of a sudden I couldn't shoot. I was playing a Saren, and I did not have, I just went and finished it with Rhino, but I was playing a Saren, didn't have a companion, and I was in ESO, right? And I took this build, right? It's not 300 power strength, it's 195 power strength, but it's not like no crazy, right? So I took that build and was in ESO. The thing is, it was two of us. It was me and it was another Saren Prime. And this Saren Prime had the Foeman and had 2 other weapons, and it had a carrier Prime. This Saren went down probably 7 or 8 times in that ESO, and I didn't even have a weapon. And not only did I not go down in the ESO, I out DPS this person by 90. It was 92% to 8%, and I got 1,200 kills versus 267 kills. And this person was MR 18. Now, you should know what to do by the time you're MR 18, but if the gap is that huge, and I'm so much further in the negative as far as what I can or cannot do, then I don't know. But that's a good example of MR and why I don't really chase MR. But it's not bad to have. But just keep in mind, it doesn't mean that you're stronger. Okay? So, but if you can and you want, feel free to go for it. I will have to say there is nothing but benefits to having a high MR. Okay, just also realize that just because you have a really high MR, it doesn't mean you're the GOAT. Just keep that in mind, because we all make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. You know, I'm wrong a lot of times. So anyway, I hope this helps. Oh, last thing that I didn't see in here. Mastering rank will increase the amount of trades you can do per day. Okay, so you need to have your mastery rank up. If you are going to be doing a lot of trading, you are going to want a nice hefty MR. You know what I mean? So I hit MR 24. I was able to do my test 3-4 days ago. Maybe I don't know, 3-4 days ago, something like that. And I wasn't going to do it until somebody mentioned it. So I did it, and you see I'm already a quarter there. So, but it's totally up to you. Yeah, I guess that pretty much ends it. For any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next piece of content. That was an accident. I hope to see you guys in the next piece of content. And you guys take it easy. Thanks for watching. Woo!